Welcome back again, guys. Senior light, any I know into my offer, but baby, and we try as much as best. Say, able to me, I change your topic, yes, and these are all I just to be say, the be a try and know as much as possible. Oh, sorry. Nasi pokoni haya unyawi. To go on. So and that's how we live the world. All what we are doing today, we believe that somebody has done it already. That's why we are living in a legends world. If you want to be a pastor, if you're a pastor, it means you followed someone or you learned it from someone. That person also learned it from someone, and it has made the society to become a legends world. You can send your comments. Let's do a live feed messages and replies. I hope that's why I don't want to use my local language more. My personal use language because I hope most of my viewers and my listeners are more outside from Ghana or outside Kumasi. So I think the English is the commonest one for us to use it. Today or tonight, we are just looking at just something about a thing that we call it, or we are saying, witchcraft in Africa and the world. Witchcraft in Africa and the world. I beg, it's just about discussion that we are doing. Don't let your heart beat because they are talking about witchcraft. And when we have been through when I said we're working. No, that's not what we're looking at. But we are looking at if you like it, yes or no. So witchcraft is there. Somebody is a witchcraft. And if the person is a witchcraft, when, how did the person get that possession? I hope you understand what I mean. So we want to look a little history about the witchcraft. Let's look at a little bit history about witchcraft. The same dichotomy between sorcery and witchcraft exists sometimes more ambiguously in the beliefs of many peoples throughout the world. Again, witchcrafts are typically seen as particularly active after dusk, when law-abiding mortals are asleep, according to traditional Navajo belief. When a witch travels at night, he wears the skin of a dead animal in order to effect a transformation into the animal. These skinwalkers hold nighttime meeting at which they wear nothing except a mask. So after wearing that skin cover or skin jacket, when they are meeting, they wear nothing but they wear a mask. Wow. Nothing except a mask. Sit among baskets of corpses and have intercourse with dead women. In some African cultures, witchcrafts are believed to assemble in cannibal convents, often at graveyards or around a fire, to feast on the blood that they, like vampires, extract from their victim. If they take the soul from a victim's body and keep it in their possession, the victim will die. Like those in Western society suspected a child abuse and satanism. African witchcraft, in the popular imagination, are believed to practice incense and other perversion. That's African witchcraft. So I think after this, we have to look at European or the other side of the country witchcraft, because that is how African witchcraft looks like. Sometimes, as the Christian tradition, their male, the, their malevolent power is believed to derive from a special relationship with an evil spirit with whom they have a pact or they exercise it through animals. Familiars such as dogs, cats, hyenas, owls, or baboons. In other cases, the witch's power is thought to be based on or her own body, and no external source is deemed necessary among the Zandi of the Congo and some other Central African peoples. The source of this evil working capacity is believed to be located in the witch stomach, and its power and range increase with age. It can be activated merely by wishing someone ill and is thus a kind of unspoken or implicit curse. At the same time, the Zandi believe that evil deeds can be brought even more effectively by the manipulation of spells and potions and the use of powerful magic. In anthropological terminology, this is technical sorcery, and thus like the witches in Shakespeare's play Macbeth, who dance around the pot, stirring options and muttering spells. The Zandi practitioners may more properly be termed sorcerers rather than witches. So in some part of the countries, we don't call them witches. We call them sorceries. So in Ghana, why? Why is it Ghana we call them Habeifo? Does somebody tell me why? Why is it that Ghana acquire Habeifo? Oh God. In many African cultures, witches are believed to act unconsciously, unaware of their ill they cause. They are driven by irresponsible urges to act malevolently. It is thus easy to those accused of witchcraft, but who are not conscious of wishing anyone ill, to assume that they unknowingly did what is attributed to them. This, along with the effects of suggestion and torture in a world where people take the reality of witchcraft for granted, goes far to explain the striking confession of guilt that are so widely reported in Africa and elsewhere, and that are otherwise hard to comprehend. It is worth nothing, however, that is witches believe they are unconscious agents. This is generally not the view of those who feel victimized by them. Wow. Whatever the basis of their power and the means by which it is exercised, witches and sorceries are regularly credited with causing all manner of disease and disaster, sickness, and even death, as well as a host of lesser misfortunes are routinely laid at their door. In many parts of Africa and Asia, epidemics and natural disasters have been interpreted as acts of witchcraft. For some unhappy candidates in many less developed countries, the same malign influence is cited to explain, at least in part, failure in examination, election, or difficulties in finding employment. All these are done by the witchcraft. If you are not getting job, if you don't have, if you are unemployed, then it means you have to concentrate and you have to say that is the doing of the witchcraft. Oh God, help us. Members of certain Afro-Brazilian cults, for example, believe that job loss is due not to economic condition or poor performance, but to witchcraft. So if you're in Ghana and you are not getting job, you are unemployed. Don't say the government is not doing its work. The government is doing its work, but it's the purpose or because of witchcraft. That's why you are not working, or that's why you have not been employed. Save us, God. Help us, God. Help us to deliver us through this such of things. However, like their ancient and early modern European counterparts, modern Africans and Asians who believe firmly in the reality of witchcraft do not lack the power of rational reason to suppose that they are incompatible to suppose that these are incompatible alternatives is a common mistake. In reality, pragmatic and mystical explanation of events usually exist in parallel or combination, but operate in different contexts and at different levels. For example, anthropological research has demonstrated that African farmers who believe in witches do not expect witchcraft to account for obvious technical failures. If one's home collapsed because it was poorly constructed, no witch is needed to explain this. If a boat sinks because it has a hole in the bottom, or a car breaks down because its battery is dead, witchcraft is not responsible. Witchcraft enters the picture when rational knowledge fails. It explains the diseases whose cause it explains the disease whose cause are unknown, the mystery of death, and more general strange and inexplicable misfortunes. So if something is disturbing you, something is worrying you, I beg, don't try as much as possible to force it on witches or witchcraft. Oh, okay, they one you say battery yet, one you say breaking yet. I could feel you, baby, I feel now because I fear before, and I fear before, and I'm an ambassador. And so, over corner, Omunim, and Hofe, international say, and yet we be and I was said, you conclude on as your cassette, and yet I pay for, and I know it's not the doing of the witchcraft. So we need Juma, let's pray, say, around them one, we certificate me, that's how we do it. But don't let us concentrate much more on witchcraft. This Legends World and Legends World, we are also aiming, we are also trying our possible best to be a legend. So if you are here, try as much as possible best to be a legend. So that's why we are learning all these things. We are looking at all these things that has happened already for it to help us to position our lifestyle, to position how we behave, our behavioral attitude. Let's continue from there's no inconsistency in the action of the sick African consul, both a medical doctor and witch doctor. There is 75. I'm saying the same. Yeah, 75 in the frame. To the fat to the far to the so there's no ink. I can't that they are not to never any church. For part of mission at Chisa. There is okay, let's continue. Sorry guys. There's no inconsistency in action of the sick African who consult both a medical doctor and witch doctor. The first treats the external symptoms while the second uncovers the hidden causes. Just as the sick African takes preventative measures prescribed by medical doctor, he or she might also take steps against the supernatural to protect against witchcraft. For instance, the patient might wear amulets, take medicine or bath in it, or practice divination similar to the Navajo protect themselves. Ella Navajo, I don't know how to speak it. That's a Voltairean race. Yeah. So with this or with such things, I think we have to know, and we know how the witchcraft operates, but we have to put it in our mind that we are not here, or we should not focus much on the witchcraft because they are doing their thing. Don't say this, you couldn't achieve this or you couldn't achieve that because of a witchcraft. Maybe the craft is sitting at its place, but because you couldn't achieve these things, you will just put the measures on the witchcraft. Then so I for yesterday, Mujaye na Munjumi and Quay yesterday. Let's go back and look at, once we have look at the African witchcraft, we just want to know and see the difference between African witchcraft and European or Asian witchcraft. Guys, I'm coming. I just want to make a reference before. Oh, guys, we are back. Today is a learning day, and we need to know something. We need to find out some things. So, as we have seen the witchcraft of Africa, let's try as possible best and know the witchcraft of Europe. We are taking this from Wikipedia, so anyone following what we are doing, you can also pick up your phone and see what we are talking about. Because we are Legends World, we are trying our possible best to learn something from what has happened. At times we will go out to find out or look for legends to talk with them. If you are a legend and you want us to meet you, you can send us a message or you can send us an info on everything. If you are a pastor, if you're a political party, if you are a leader to something, if you're a businessman, you can call us or you can link us for us to meet you. Now let's look at a few beliefs about European witchcraft. European witchcraft is a multi-factor historical and cultural phenomenon that unfolded over centuries, leaving a mark on the continent's social, religious, and landscape. The root of European witchcraft trace back to classical antiquity when concept of magic and religion were closely related, and society closely integrated magic and supernatural beliefs. Ancient, so you see one thing, the European witchcraft looks like, or believe their beliefs is a magic, the super magic, the magic that they do is the witchcraft. And what about Ghana? What about Africa? So let's continue from there. The root of European witchcraft trace back to classical antiquity, when concepts of magic and religion were closely related, and society closely integrated magic and supernatural beliefs. Ancient Rome, when ancient Rome, then a pagan society, had laws against harmful magic. In the Middle Ages, accusation of heresy and devil worship grew more prevalent. By the early modern period, major witch hunts began to take place, partly fueled by religious tension, society's anxieties, and economic upheaval. Witches were often viewed as dangerous sorcerers, or sorcerers in a pact with the devil, capable of causing interpretation of the witch trials is that misogynist views of women led to the association of women and malevolent witchcraft. One pivotal text that shaped the witch hunt was the Malleus Maleficarum. In 1486, treatise that provided a framework for identifying, prosecuting, and punishing witches. The Belgian influence of the Catholic Church led to a wave of witch trials. According usual accusations of witchcraft were made by neighbors and followed from social tension. Accusations often targeted marginalized individuals, including women, the elderly, and those who did not conform to societal norms. These are the people at times we accuse. These are the people we accuse always of being witch. The common people believe that magical healers could undo bewitchment. These magical healers were sometimes denounced as harmful witches, but seem to have made up minority of accused. The witch craze reached its peak between the 16th and 17th century, resulting in the execution of tens of thousands of people. The dark period of history reflects the confluence of supernatural, superstition, fear, and authority, as well as the societal tendency to find scapegoats for complex problems. The Tsardom of Russia also experienced its own interaction of witchcraft trials during the 17th century. Witchcraft were often accused of practicing sorcery and engaging in supernatural activities, leading to their excommunication and execution. The blending of ecclesiastical and secular jurisdiction in Russia's approach to witchcraft trials highlighted the intervened nature of religious and political power that time. As the 17th century progressed, the fear of witches shifted from mere superstition to a tool for political manipulation, with accusation to start individuals who possessed threats to the ruling elite. Since the 1940s, neo-pagan witchcraft movements have emerged in Europe, seeking to revive and reinterpret ancient pagan and mystery practice. Wicca poisoned the Gerard Gardner stand out as one of the most influential new pagan tradition. So guys, I think these are the few history of witchcraft in Europe. So when you look at the witchcraft in Europe, we compared it as comparing it, they see it being being a sorcerer, being a magician, you are witchcraft. But in Africa, we believe and see it being a witchcraft is a person who destroys, who don't make something good out from the bad, but always make bad out from the good. So all what we can say, all what we can do is we are pleading on behalf anyone being a witch, try as much as possible to overturn your witch works from bad to good deeds. Here is Legends World. This is what we do. Always we try as much as possible to read out or find out what the legends has done. Our previous deceasses, our ancestors, what we are doing today, they did it, they have done it. What everything we are in today, they started it. So being a legend, you being a legend, we have to follow or look at the steps they picked and take it to polish or to polish it to suit our lifestyle. We are not saying we should pick their lifestyle, but we have to know, we have to hear, we have to listen, we have to read, we have to find out what they did for us to know what we can do best. That's why here is a legend. Well, my name is Cages. You can call me Cages at any time wherever you see me. Cages is the name, Cages. I think we have to end this session here, and few minutes time we will come out with different session. That's what we are doing today. We are forcing our possible best to teach or to learn something from the legends, because they are the person who has helped us throughout our lives, throughout everything, throughout what we have been doing. So as we say, legends, well, legends, they are not just a mere people. We have living legends and we have gone legends. Jesus Christ was a legend. That's why today we keep on listening or reading his history and anything. Today or tonight, that is the last thing or the last topic we are coming to look at: the history of Jesus Christ. Not the whole Bible, but the person called Jesus Christ. We are coming to find out, and I think that will be the devotion time for us. Thank you once again. Goodbye. I love you. Keep on streaming to this platform, to add your comment sections always, and share for your neighbor to also look at or listen to what we are doing. Thank you very much once again.